Right. What? Oh, totally. Hi, everybody. I'm just gonna wait for my students. What?
Sorry.
Well, sorry, Connor's just involving himself here.
I was going to ask you if you were ever going to draw a topic.
Oh, maybe, yeah. Let me just smallen this down. Hi, if you're on YouTube. One watching, I don't know who you are, but hi. I'm just going to wait just a little bit longer. I'll probably start in about 5 minutes time, so if you're just setting up, you've got time to get a drink or whatever it is that you need. But we're going to continue with our little bunny. Going to work out down on his chest. We might get down this leg here, we'll see how we get on. If you're not drawing and you're just popping by, hi, feel free to stick around. If you've got any questions, feel free to ask. Hey Millie. I don't know. Oh, hi Evie. I hope you're well. Thank you for confirming that I made a mistake, which was a really good thing because, yeah, I didn't realise I put GMT and not BST on the invite. Apologies, I am getting over a cold, so I'm a little bit stuffy, so I might try not to cough too much. Anybody that's new, my name is Rachel. Obviously you guys follow me for drawing animals. I also teach, so this is one of the free lessons that I'm doing of this lovely little bunny. And you can catch up, so if you've not done part 1 or part 2, you're more than welcome to just pop onto my YouTube and yeah, sorry, just getting distracted here. Yeah, you're welcome to pop onto my YouTube and you can then catch up on parts 1 and 2. Yeah, feeling good, Millie, feeling a lot better. Yeah, it's just been one illness after another, but hey ho, it's just how it is. Especially when you've got a toddler in nursery, it's yeah, it's just virus galore. So yeah, anyone's got any questions, pop on and ask. I'm just going to pop into the Facebook chat. I'm just going to pop onto Facebook now and just pop in. If you're drawing, I recommend coming off Facebook and going onto YouTube. Reason behind that is you can pop this in full HD rather than in whatever Facebook puts it down to. So if you are drawing, please pop over to Facebook. Just gonna pop the comment down for the YouTube link. It might just be Evie drawing tonight, which is fine. It's one-on-one Evie with me, which is not a problem at all. I appreciate that I kind of just threw this up last minute because I had a small gap in my schedule and I thought I'll fill it really quickly. Evie, is your sister drawing as well, or is it just you? But yeah, I'm hoping that more people may wish to give this a go in the future, and you can. This is available for everyone, and I want to prove to you that you can learn to draw. So yeah, I do think that it's suitable for everybody. So please, if you've never learned to draw and you want to give it a go, try a new hobby this summer, come my way. So I'm going to give it a few more minutes and then I'm going to just crack on and start drawing. Though I am getting a lot of notifications through on Facebook at the moment. So obviously I released a new portrait tonight, which was my big 4-horse drawing. If you've not seen it, go have a little nosy. It was such a huge challenge for me to do, drawing something so big. Especially where it was on a paper that I wasn't really keen on using for it, but it worked. Yeah, just me. You're sitting in the middle of the field in a caravan. Oh, bless you. You're on holiday and you're doing this. Amazing. I hope you're having a really nice time. Or is your family doing an event? That's incredible. I kind of wish I was on holiday. Can't wait to receive Molly. The 4-horse portrait looks amazing. Thank you so much, Millie. I appreciate it. I've actually got another one coming up very, very soon, actually. I think my deadline is June. I'm also getting spied on by Connor. Yes, can I help you? I'm not using Spotify, no. I'm like, what? He's so funny. Right, so Millie, I think not Millie, sorry, Evie, I think this is just going to be me and you. Just one watching, which is absolutely fine by me. We'll have a little go. So yeah, let's just crack on. I'm just gonna just remove a little bit of my line art here, just where it's on the edge. And what we're gonna do is we're just gonna take a little bit away, and we're gonna just create fluffy fur in a very easy and simple way, which is by not having to do too much. He said hi. He's been asking me all day if I'm using YouTube, Spotify, and I wasn't. Okay, so we'll go for our 2H pencil. If anybody's dropping by and wants to just say hi, feel free. You don't have to be drawing to chat and ask me any questions. Just going to move my laptop a little bit, so it's a little bit bouncy just for a moment. Yeah, you don't have to be drawing. So what we're going to do with our 2H pencil. Hi Jess, nice to see you. Jessica, is it good quality for you? Because if not, pop onto YouTube instead. Okay, so we're going to do some nice curves coming off the chest here, and we're just going to go for the edge. And we're just going to fan them out. I'm going to use nice light pressure. I can't draw, save my life. Oh, it's great. Oh, brilliant, Jess. Good to hear. Never really sure how Facebook's gonna do the quality. Sometimes you can get, quite hit and miss with it. Millie, I could definitely teach you how to draw. I can almost guarantee it. If I can learn to draw, you definitely can. We're just gonna curve our fur over. We're gonna keep overlapping our pencil. Yeah, it's meant to cut off at the ear purely because we're not doing anything with the top of the bunny. I think we will go back to the mouth. I'm pretty sure we actually didn't finish it. It doesn't look finished to me. But what we'll do is we'll work on a little bit of the ruff. Yeah, I wanted it to only show where we're working tonight. I'm glad to see that somebody else is doing it. Is it zoomed in on more on YouTube? No, it's just you can put YouTube into 1080p, which is obviously high quality. But as I say, you can get quite hit and miss with Facebook quality. So yeah, it's very dependent. I think what we'll end up doing is we'll probably just switch between our 2H and our 2B pencil rather than the 4B. Though I do have the I have my 2H, 2B and 4B in my hand. I've got blending stump, I've got the mono eraser, I've got paintbrush. So I've got all the materials that we would use usually for my tutorials, but I think we'll probably just use 2B and 2H for this little bunny ruff. And basically what we're going to do is we're going to go in for our shadows, we're going to go in for our darker zones. So obviously as we come underneath this chin here, you can see it's quite dark hair. But what we want to do is get in a nice base with our 2H pencil, because it's actually going to give it such a nice soft look, and that's what we want. Obviously bunny fur is very, very soft, which I can vouch for, I've got 4 of them. I've got 3 long haired, 1 short hair bunny. This is quite a I probably could still class this bunny as a short hair with a bit of a ruff to it. Yeah, Millie, the quality usually is a lot higher on YouTube, but you know, if people can work off Facebook, then definitely do. Like, I'm streaming on both, so I've got one student over on YouTube and I've got one on Facebook, so that's great. I'm still really stuffy. I'm still gonna just go over this a couple of times. I'm actually starting my colour filming this next week, and I've also got a bit of I'm not really sure whether to do it. I've got a fantastic reference photo of a rearing horse, and if you guys have done Blues Nose just yet, you'll know that with me doing that big event this coming July, I'm going to have to creep in a little bit of horse work into our lessons. So yeah, I've got this beautiful rearing horse in graphite that I want to do myself, but I thought I might pop it on a lesson on one of the tutorials. It's quite big, it's A3, but I'd probably recommend my students do it at A4 size. Right, we're going to use our blending stump, if I can find my blending stump. I did have it earlier and I popped it down and then wandered off. So no doubt I'm going to have to use a dirty one. If you've got a nice clean blending stump, here we go. Give this a very gentle smoothing. And pay a bit of attention coming off the edge here. Just create a little bit more of a smooth edge, almost like a hazy edge with your blending stump there. What we don't want is a reference line, so I've got a little bit of a reference line there. So I'm just going to give that a smooth down. I'm going to switch to the 2B now. And just where that reference line was, I'm going to very gently with pencils just start creating the top layer of fur and the depth. So I haven't decided with the rearing horse just yet, but I've got a feeling it'll probably make quite a significant amount of sense for me to teach that one. It's absolutely beautiful, the reference photo, and also it's a reference photo that everybody can use and create prints from themselves, so that's always handy for these sort of lessons. If you're just dropping by, I'm just watching the numbers change on my screen. Hi, you don't have to be drawing to say hello. You can just drop in, ask any questions you'd like, and drop out again. Come and have a little look at what one of my lessons does look like. I'm still making sure that the pencil is curving on every single stroke. It's so important to get that curve. And you might think, surely it's pointless just constantly going over and creating the lines, and also surely you could just push it all in rather than constantly lifting your pencil. Well, actually, you're creating fur, so you're going to create many different depths to your pencil, which is going to create many different layers of fur. So this is why we do it. This is why we're constantly layering with our pencil, and it can feel so tedious sometimes, but absolutely worth it, because then when you sit back and look at your drawing, you actually see all those different layers of hair and fur depending on the animal that you're drawing. And what I'm going to do, just this little area here, just a little bit above, I'm just going to almost, if you like, finish it off, because we definitely left it on needing to be complete. So I'm just very gently using that 2B and just creating more little layers of hair. Hi everybody. Oh, people have gone again, fair enough. I'm just just doing very, very small strokes here because the hair's actually really short, and you kind of don't want to make it too long here. They have very, very short hair coming around the mouth. Feel free to stop by, say hello, ask any questions, guys, if you're not drawing. You don't have to be here to only draw. I'm more than happy to say hi and chat and answer questions and stuff, so feel free. Otherwise, I'll just crack on, chat away about rabbits. So when I was a keeper at the zoo, I was known as the Rabbit Police. I think I still am known as the Rabbit Police. We had a couple of little bunnies there, and I used to help manage like the diets. It was generally just the diet. What a lot of people don't realise is I'm going to switch to the blending stump. Just give that a very gentle smoothing. You don't really want to lose all your hair, so just really softly move your blending stump over. What a lot of people don't realise is carrots and things like that are actually really bad for bunnies. Really, really bad for bunnies actually. Very high in sugar. They're not beneficial at all, only to Bugs Bunny. It can be very difficult to change a practice that has happened even since I was little. When I was little, gosh, my bunnies used to get all kinds. I'm going to go back for the 2B. Lots and lots of carrots when I was little. In fact, they used to be in the most horrendous hutch. They weren't, you know, kept in big enclosure like my bunnies are now. I look back and feel very, very guilty, but, you know, didn't really know any better. So very strongly behind the Rabbit Welfare Association and how they should be managed and stuff. So yeah, I gathered the nickname the Bunny Police, which still makes me giggle. And if any of my friends ever get rabbits or anything like that, I always put the same emoji up of like this little minion with a little police siren with it, because yeah, I feel very strongly about how bunnies are managed and stuff. So we're just dropping the graphite just down a little bit more, just underneath this chin before we move on. I'm going to switch now to my 2H, and we're going to crack on the other side. As we get to this little section here, just below this part of the cheek, the hair actually changes to the opposite direction. So you're going to see that. And it's important that we follow that. We get that natural look to the hair. But where we've just little tiny marks with our graphite, we've actually made such a really lovely section. I can see where I left it off, like we've still got so much of this jaw to do. So we will do that in a moment. But what we'll do is we'll just grab the ruffin, and this depth goes right up to the edge of the mouth, just here. I've never given my rabbits banana. So fruit generally is not the best for rabbits because of their digestive system and stuff. So no, I haven't actually given it to them, though I'd probably say in the past I have. I couldn't tell you if it was good or bad for them because it's just not something that I keep within my practice of keeping bunnies. I imagine we have one that's called Heather, and her nickname is Pig because she is a pig and she'll literally eat everything. So I'd imagine if she got her paws on some banana, she'd love it. I'll check it out though. I mean, you can give...
I'm sorry.
Oh, hello. Sorry, that was my watch that just made me jump out my skin. you can give them small quantities of fruit, I'm sure. But yeah, it's just not something I've ever done. I imagine you've given your bunnies banana. We've given that a question. I'm just going to give that a little bit of a smooth in. I'm going to go for the 2B now. I'm going to carry on just underneath the jawline. Things like, the thing with fruit, it's always handy to allow your bunnies, or any of your pets really, to be used to something like that, because when it comes to giving them medicine and things, it's always nice to give them something that they really like that. So whilst it's not really in my whilst it's not something that I do, I should really do something like that for those situations. I mean, mine are getting quite old now, so yeah, we get illnesses quite regularly nowadays, now that they're getting on a bit. So yeah, it's probably not a bad thing at all. Yeah, they don't have the whole bit on them. When I have one, I give them a tiny bit. They seem to love it. Yeah, I bet they do. I'm sure I've seen it on the rabbit welfare groups that people do it. So yeah, it's just, as I say, it's just never been something that I've done. But yeah, I probably should, now that they're getting on a bit, I probably should do that a bit more often. Right, let's give that a little bit of a smooth in. I'm starting to see this come together. What we're going to do, just after that little section there, I'm actually just going to continue with this jaw. It's obviously an area that we didn't finish. Hi to anyone that's watching. If you've got any questions, feel free to ask. Just finishing, well, I say we're just finishing. We're still drawing this beautiful little bunny that we started a couple of weeks ago. Yeah, we're just going to carry on. If you want to draw this, you can. Parts 1 and 2 are on YouTube. So you can catch up, and this is also recorded as well. So you are able to go back onto YouTube and watch this from the beginning, so you can actually catch up. But yeah, feel free to stay for a chat, grab a cup of tea. And just give that a smooth in, just going to come to the edge. Again, just go back in with that 2B. So we've got like a dark section just near the, this top lip. And we've actually got hair coming into it as well, so we're going to have to use our mono to pull that out. I hope everyone's having a good start to the Easter holidays, though I believe a couple of schools don't break until, well, I think it was today actually. A couple of them are quite late. We have Easter Sunday next week. I'm just coming down to this edge here. I'm going to switch over just to the 4B, just to get a little bit more depth from our little bunny. And I'm also going to just cut into the top lip a bit, just a little tiny bit, just to create those hair's coming through, so then it's not as straight. You don't want it to be too straight in that little area. 2 weeks off, Evie. Oh, jammy. I'm sure when I was in school, like, we only got a week, but we also got 8 weeks over there's some holidays when I was little, and I believe it's 6 now, isn't it? 6 weeks holidays, for the most part anyway, apart from the private schools. I think we need to work on this nose a little bit more. It's not as detailed as, well, this is the problem where I'm going to switch over to the 2B. Just do this little area here so the hair's coming over the top, and then it goes the other way, so you've got hair that goes over there and then under here, and then we'll move our way down. Yeah, I think that's why we got 8 weeks. There was a few holidays in the year that were shorter than what they are now. But then we got longer over the summer holidays. So it all balances out in the same way, really. I just needed a little touch up, just in those little areas. Sorry, I do apologise. I haven't actually spoken this much in a little while. Okay, let's do a little bit more bridging underneath here. And then we can cut in a little bit to this bottom lip. It just needs a little bit of a cut in, and then we'll probably use our mono. Give that a little bit of a smoothing. That looks loads better. Just where we've cut in a little bit as well, you've got that natural look there. Okay, go for your 2H. Let's continue down the body. Just let me know if I'm going a little bit too fast. I'm happy to slow down a little bit. Some of this hair is a little bit longer. There's no right or wrong where this section is. You can do like small S's if you like. I'm going to do that with my mono. But fur, just remember when you're doing fur, it's not a uniform thing. Like, my students hear me say this all the time. Messy is better. I love, realistic portraits where the fur is, where the way they've done it is really, uniform and flat and beautiful and straight. Like, it looks lovely. But if you're looking at this bunny, he doesn't have a uniform coat. The hair's everywhere. There's hairs, flyaway hairs, there's curly hair, there's clumped hair, there's all kinds of different hair. And I prefer that. I prefer the rougher looking. And I try, and apart from my horses are a little bit different. They do generally, especially their summer coats, are usually really, really nice and flat, and the hair, glides over their bodies. So I'm going to go for the blending stump. So yeah, you can kind of gather that, and there's certain breeds of dog as well. But generally I love popping in like really fluffy different zones. Or different textures. We've got another dark section going on here. But some of these like big clumps, like this is already starting to change, going into the opposite direction. It's like we're getting a different kind of curve out. Nice little smooth in there. Got quite a significant portion which is just darker, and then the hair curves out. So I'm going to continue to follow the pattern that we just put above, and then I'll change it. I'm going to switch to 2B. You see I've left a gap, and it's just creating a new level of the hair. Hi Tony, really, it's just popping by. You can catch up with this if you wanted to give the bunny a go. Parts 1 and 2 are on YouTube, and I will link them into the event text after this is finished. It's completely free. You can learn all the different techniques to creating fur. And if you like it, I do recommend my classes, my little Patreon channel. There is going to be a very easy to find library on my website, because I appreciate that the navigation for Patreon is absolutely appalling. I wish they'd create a better library, but I am creating one for you for my website, so you can access whichever tutorial it is that you want to give a go in a much easier way. Otherwise you just scroll and scroll with Patreon, and I appreciate how frustrating it is. And you can give that a go if you like it. So this is almost like a have a go, see what you think. If you like it, come and give it a proper go. Give that a little bit of a smooth in. And go for your 2H, and we'll carry on around. My phone keeps going off. It's very frustrating. I have no idea what's going on. It's always the way when I am either filming my tutorials or I'm doing a live, and my phone just doesn't stop. And I don't know why. It's like everyone knows that I'm busy at that moment, but they all want me. But it's the only time it happens, otherwise my phone is silent all day. Now, just as we're coming just over this side of our bunny, our hair is going to change, so it's actually going to drop. It's going to drop right down, just here. And it actually comes right up to the top of the neck there and drops down. Just give that a little gentle smoothing. And as we come back up, I think it's still dropping. It's hard to see just underneath these whiskers here. I think it's only ever so slightly fanning out, so we'll just carry that on. Just very gently fan it out. I'm also going to just get rid of this reference line. Like so, but I think we'll probably just use our blending stump just to smooth that right in. It's very difficult to see underneath that little section, so let's just give that a bit of a smoothing. Give this a bit of a smoothing as well. I'm just going to switch to our 2B. I'm just going to just really gentle little strokes just coming around our little bunny's face. Evie, your parents doing the Hopefield event next week? There's a little event at the animal sanctuary. Seeing as you're local, wondered if you were actually doing it. Give that a little gentle smoothing. I'm going to go back for the, we're going to stick with the 2B, sorry, and we're going to do this little rough area. The graphite's just matching here, just underneath. It's the Hopefield Animal Sanctuary. They've got a little open day. Well, it's like an Easter event next weekend. Just follow that fur down. We're just going to have to darken this down a little bit more. Remember, the hair's going downwards, so it's curving over and down. So don't just do a straight line, curve it and down. They might not be doing it. I was just thinking then, I remember them turning away, like catering styles. Because they've got their own on site, but obviously I know yours is very different, or your parents' is very different to what potentially would be turned away. Give that a little gentle smoothing with our little. And you can see, like, already you've created like quite a fluffy look to him already. So you're getting that natural looking bunny, and the way you're doing that is through using that blending stump. You're creating like a haze, and that's what's helping us get that extra fluff without a huge amount of work. 2H pencil, and we'll go back over here and work our way across. in the next layer of hair. Oh, fair enough, Evie. Be cool if you were. Say hi. Come and sit and draw with me if you wanted to. I'll be drawing all day next weekend. Is the quality okay, guys? Can you still see it okay? It's hard to see it on my screen. It's quite small for me. I just want to make sure that you guys can still see our little bunny okay. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to start curving some of the pencil coming back the opposite way. Just every so often, just throw in a different direction. The hair's getting a little bit longer, just in this little area here. Oh, interesting. Okay. And then the hair's actually going to go back the opposite way just for a second. And then come back. So it's just like a little bit of a clump here. And then we've got hair that's gonna come out. We've got a couple of competition commissions to do this year. In fact, in this next few months, I'm actually gonna check with my owners if they're happy for you guys to give it a go, because the big colour work, which will be fun. Again, give that just a little bit of a smooth, a little bit of brush around with your blending stump. And switch to your 2B. You might be thinking, when are we going to do the whiskers? It's actually something that I do at the very end. You can get in all your values first, and then you can use your mono to pull out your whiskers. Oh, you'd be more than welcome to, Evie, to come and sit in my gazebo and draw. More than welcome to. Just going to create a bit of depth here. This little area here is a little bit darker. There are lots of preparations to do for the next show, which is in a week. Just gonna throw in a little bit of additional, like a little, almost like a bit of medium pressure there, just popping in a little bit more graphite just to gain that little clump of hair. Same on this side here as well. You know, I've made this, kept this quite light, so this is where you'll start to notice where if you're quite light-handed like myself, that you actually need to strengthen your graphite down. Now I like to keep everything very, very light so that if you make any mistakes or anything, you can actually go through and remove your graphite. Whilst I don't really make many mistakes anymore, and it's not me being big-headed, it's just drawing for so long, you can kind of make a mistake look like it was supposed to be there. It's still an area that I struggle with, is to darken down. So that's just my own little thing that I'm working through. Malika, the lioness, was the first time I've ever, you know, really noticed and highlighted that little struggle that I have. And it's something I'm learning, something that I'm teaching myself to be brave. So just use my blending stump here. Again, just staying with that 2B. It can mean that sometimes my work just takes that little bit longer to achieve, because I am much lighter in the hand, and it's just going to take a little bit for that graphite to come down. I think whilst I'm teaching as well, I like to make sure that you guys learn to be just that little bit lighter, so that, you know, you can gain that confidence that if you make a mistake, you can just pop it back in. How are you finding the lioness, Evie? Are you enjoying it? Give that a little bit of a smoothing. You're getting somewhere here. And then remember to curve this over. It's coming out and down. And then as it comes down, it also then fans back out just over here. So we'll have it go over in this section here. So we've got down and then back out. Little bunny's looking really good. Sometimes you have to really trust the process that you're going through. Even graphite has this like ugly stage, this worrying looking stage, but actually it does change eventually. If you just stick with it, you then get that beautiful little fluffy bunny that you're looking for. What is this? Sometimes I draw random lines that don't really need to be there, and this is one of them. I'm getting rid of that, get rid of my line. Back on the 2H pencil. Oh, amazing. I'm glad you're enjoying drawing her, Evie. And don't worry, if your signal's in and out, don't worry, just trust yourself that you can keep up. And even if you don't, just drop a rewind later on and go back through it, just join in where I'm up to. You're very talented, so you can definitely catch up. Just looking at this little area here, the hair's actually going to curve, and again it's going to face downwards. Jess, are you getting on okay? And the hair's going to just curve again. Remember, you don't need to worry about it completely. Give it a little bit of a fluff. Let's give it a bit of a fluff. Especially on that edge. Really fluff that out. Some parts are a little tricky with the shading. Okay, just, you know, keep with it. I'm not light enough. There's nothing wrong with that. Like, you can teach yourself to be a little bit lighter. And the way I used to be quite heavy-handed, and the way I learnt, so generally now I hold quite close to the end. But when I was teaching myself to be lighter, I would hold the pencil quite far away, and then I would learn to be, I'd have to be lighter, because you can try and push your pencil in, but it's a little bit more tricky. So if you hold your pencil just that little bit further away, you'll naturally be that little bit lighter. The other side of it, if you get a lot of wrist pain as well, again, that could be where if you get pains. Sometimes I used to get pains in like my shoulder and in my back and in my wrist, and it was because I was really gripping with my pencil. So again, that really forced me to be lighter. It took me I'd probably say about 3 or 4 weeks of drawing a little bit higher up the barrel. But this is just my style. I have a fantastic student, I hope she continues with the bunny, I'm sure she will, who was struggling to draw the lioness on one of my classes because she has a completely different style to me. And it was so important that she just remembered her style and just followed a couple of the little techniques that I put in. And she created a beautiful piece of Malika in the end. Like, it looks absolutely stunning. I can't wait to take it to my events. So yeah, you just teach yourself. That's all you need to do. Or work it in your favour. I'm just very, very light. And it when you're working really lightly, the other benefit is you can really work with the H pencils. So H pencils have a lot of clay in them, which is why they come across as quite a hard pencil. Whereas your B pencils have more graphite in them, so they become a lot more softer. but being able to work with a harder pencil with light pressure is really handy. As practice makes progress, doesn't make perfection. So just keep practicing. Okay, and give that another smooth. Go for your 2B. We'll just start adding some shadows in, some of our depth in. There's no right or wrong, I don't believe anyway. I think, you know, you'll pick up your own style, you'll pick up your own methods, and you'll pick up your own realism eventually. And whatever you produce is beautiful. Whatever you're producing right now is fantastic, and don't put any sort of pressure on yourself to be, if you want to be, you know, sort of my level, but you're just starting out, just give yourself time. Learn, enjoy. You'll get there eventually, if this is what you want to do. Remember to keep curving your pencil. Anyone's watching, and there's a couple of people dropping in and out, and it's great. Like, thank you for having a little nosy at what we're doing. You are welcome to catch up with this on YouTube. Our little bunny is on there. You can learn to draw for free. You don't have to sign up to anything, but it'd be great if you want to give more lessons a go and learn lots of different techniques and different animals. Then, you know, check out the Patreon channel. I do call it my art classes. It's just easier to explain and convey what it is. It's a full library on there of, there's a horse's nose, there's leather work, there's a lioness, there's a fox, there is a horse. There's lots to do. And I honestly believe no matter what sort of style, what sort of level you're at, you can learn. If this is what you want to learn. Go for your 2H, we'll just come underneath here, and then we'll probably use a little bit of our mono. Now just, you might find that your mono is going to work really well where you've been a little bit heavier with your pencil. Whereas for me, I'm not going to get instant results because my work is way too light. So there's benefits to being a little bit heavier handed than what I'm being. Just curving that pencil around, just looking at this area. So the hair is going to fall in a little bit more. But then what you're going to find is the hair is actually going to come out and over like this. This is actually going to come out and over this little lip. This is what this is for. I'm just going to get rid of the line, just to an extent. Don't really need it. So this just needs to extend that little bit more down. And then we will fan out the hair underneath. So if you do the curving over first, you'll find this a little bit easier. This is how I tend to find it easier to match up my lines. So So I curve it over first and then do my match-up lines. It's just that little bit easier to get the curve in. Like so. Give that a smooth in. Follow the pattern that you've just done. Very important. We always follow that direction that we've put our pencils in with our blending and stumping, and you continue to keep that realism going. Hi to people that just dropped by. Hope you're all well. Feel free to stop by. Feel free to chat. If you've got any questions, welcome to ask. This is a completely free lesson, so if you want to catch up on YouTube, you can. Parts 1 and 2 are there. Part 3 is also currently live, so it will stay up there. And you can catch up whenever you like and give this little bunny a go. Perfect in time for Easter. Who doesn't love an Easter bunny, hey? We've still got ways to go. I think we've probably got another 2 lives of this lovely little bunny before he's done. So I will fit another session in probably next Friday. I just need to look at my schedule. I'm pretty sure I can fit him in. He's been quite sweet to draw actually. Probably end up popping him on a little card for myself. My cards are growing ever so quickly. Lots of different designs now available, which is quite cute. There you can join the crew. I'm going to switch to my 2B now and really bring down the graphite level here. So we'll start off over here. So I work left to right. I am right-handed. If you're a lefty, if you get a sheet of paper and pop it under your hand, so then you're not resting on it as you're working across the board. I'm really going to strengthen this down. I'm probably going to switch into the 4B as well. If yours is already quite dark, just stick with the 2B when we switch over. I just need to drop some of the depth down. I'm just curving that pencil around in different directions because the hair is going in many, many, many different directions. And this will just help us in the long run. I haven't been able to do many live streams on any, well in fact I haven't done any live streams for a little while on any of my social medias, and I promise they are coming back. I've just been so busy, and also we've had quite a lot of viruses in our home recently, which is very frustrating, but it is the season. So now that things are quieting down, I don't want to say too much because I don't want to jinx myself at all. I should be able to do a little bit more live streaming, which is good. especially on TikTok. I've really slacked on TikTok recently. Though I've tried to continue to post every day. It's a full-time job, guys. It's a full-time job on top of a full-time job. Yeah, lots of more work to do in these next few months. Also just started on LinkedIn, so if you're on LinkedIn, look me up. Remember this area here, the hair is pointing down before it fans out. And it is easier to do the curve over first before lining it up, and it is that little bit darker. Getting lots of notifications in this evening, which is really cool. Hi to everybody. A lot of them are coming from TikTok as well, actually. Okay, I'm going to give this a smooth in. And I'm actually going to switch over to my 4B. Just throw in a little bit more graphite, especially around this chest area. It just needs that little bit more for me. You might notice that I've not sharpened my pencils once. I generally don't sharpen very often. One, because, well, it saves me buying new pencils all the time, though I tend to go through my 2Bs more than any of other of my pencil brands or pencil numbers. But also when you're doing hair like this, you kind of want that little graininess in a way, because you can create fluff without doing that much. I just want to add that little bit more depth in so I can take it away. Sounds really daft, doesn't it? Add to take away, but that's what we do. Just gonna, again, just throw the level down a bit more. Are you guys happy to continue until 10? Would that be okay? The guys that are drawing, can you just let me know that you're happy to go till 10? It's mad that already over an hour has passed. It goes really quickly. I'm really matching this up now. Still following the direction that we've put our pencil in. I'll take the silence as a yes, you're happy to continue. Or it might just be a delay in the footage, which is why I've not seen the replies yet. Okay, Evie, no problem. Okay, well, all right then. We'll go till 9:30, and then we'll stop there. If because there's only 2 of you this evening, I can do that. That's not a problem at all. So what we'll do is we will finish off this little area that we're doing. Is that good? Okay, I'm going to give this a smoothing. Yeah, brilliant. Okay. I think it would be an okay for Evie, and just see if she pops in her reply. Yep, great, okay. So we'll go till 9:30, and then I will organise another session. I'm giving that a nice little smoothing. So let's get our mono out. Mine needs a little bit of a clean in this corner. And you want to have a nice sharp edge. So a nice sharp edge. And what we're going to do is we're going to take little snippets out. And just turn your mono around every time you've used it. And it'll just help it stay cleaner for longer. And feel free to throw in like different, you can go different curves, you don't have to do just complete uniform. Try and almost follow the little bit of area, you know, where you know the direction it's going, but you can just pop a different curve in. Once your mono gets a little bit dirty, just clean it off at the side and then carry on. And the one thing I learnt recently is when you're cleaning it off at the side, don't then pick off. You see I've got like little hairs of rubber there. Don't pick it off, because you're actually going to put oils on your mono. And I actually only learnt that very recently, which it makes sense. And those oils are going to transfer onto your paper. It's going to be harder to remove the graphite. So yeah, just be very careful. You're just going to slowly pull off little hairs, little flyaway hairs. Follow those little, you know, those little sections that we've done. You know, follow those, but don't be afraid to use your mono. Don't be afraid to create clumps of hair. You want to create a clump, you just make it wider. If you feel like you make a mistake, don't worry. Do short and long hairs as well. And don't use your hands to brush away. If you've got a piece of tissue or anything like that, use that rather than your hands. Try not to transfer your natural oils in your hand around your paper. So if I'm ever doing like a commission or anything like that, my hand, the only part of my hand that ever touches this page is this part. I always wash my hands before, make sure they're nice and dry. I've made many mistakes. There are actual commission pieces out there with a couple of marks. No one will know which ones they are because I've removed them very well. But they were from, you know, very early on. Learnt my lesson quite quickly with the natural oils in your hands. So yeah, it's very important to be aware of them right from the early stages. And I can imagine all of my clients now going back and look at their pieces and looking for mistakes. I promise you won't find them. I'm just going to come up the head here. I just feel like this little area here for me just needs a little bit of touch up, but I'll wait for the next time to do that because it's just off the screen. It would require a little bit of movement and stuff, and there's just no point. So I can wait until next time. There's no right or wrong amount of little hairs that you can put here. It's honestly your choice how hairy you make your bunny. Okay, I'm going to carry on with my 2H pencil here. I'm just going to do a little bit more around the chest. And as we come towards between the legs, the hair is going to come down like this, but then straight this side and then curve back out. So we're going to follow that. I think what might be best is just finishing off over this side, and the hair is going to curve down and round. I really love how our little bunny looks. When I got it out earlier, I was like, oh, got a bit of work to do there, but actually, fluffy fur is not that difficult. Now, if you struggle a lot with like curly hair and fluffy hair and things like that, if that's a barrier for you, my main advice that I can give you is take the name away and try and shut your brain off, which sounds really odd, but your brain will tell you that that's curly hair and it needs to look curly and it doesn't look curly enough, blah blah blah. But what you need to be doing is drawing what you see and not drawing what your brain is telling you it should be. And that's I got given that advice a very, very long time ago, and it was the best advice I've ever had. So like when I was struggling to draw eyes, I took it away and I thought, right, okay, so what can I call it instead, or what is it then? And I'm looking for the shape, and I'm looking at the style of it, how is it actually looking? And like horse eyes, for example, they're like eggs. So I draw like the oval shape rather than a round shape. And things just change drastically. So draw what you can see, not what your brain is telling you it is. And this goes for all of this. Just draw sections, draw clumps. Staying with the 2H pencil here. Go for your 2B. Adding in that extra floof. So as I mentioned before, I've got 4 rabbits. Got Harvey, Herbie, Hector and Heather. Started off with Harvey and Herbie. And then we got Heather, not long after. And then we actually had another one called Hazel. And then we got Hector. Hazel and Hector live together. We don't have Hazel anymore. So we had Hector bonded into the main group. Oh, he's such a sweetheart. He's deaf. He's going blind. He's 10 years old this year, so he's getting on a bit. He was rescued from a London balcony. He lived for 5 years on his own. His owner absolutely loved him, and he's always been such a lovely, lovely bunny. But she soon realised that actually not really the life for him, so he came to us. I remember the first time he went on grass. It was the cutest thing ever. I'm pretty sure there's videos of it somewhere. Oh yeah, especially when he tasted it for the first time. And yeah, he's slotted into our main group really quite nicely. Gonna use the mono, just bring in some of the hairs just for this section. H pencil. And the hair is just coming down to this centre here. It's almost curving in on both sides. Okay, smooth in. We'll just finish this little, oh, we've still got 7 minutes. Got a little bit of time. Go for your 2B. We've got Harvey and Herbie are brothers. They came with their names. His actual name is Herbert, but we call him Herbie. Yeah, Harvey's a lovely, lovely bunny out of them all. He's always been our best bunny, if you like. He's becoming a little bit more angry in recent years. Unfortunately, he's had a couple of illnesses that we have required medication, so he's never enjoyed that, bless him. But he's very good with my daughter. Very, very good, in fact. He's a very, very remarkable little buddy. I remember when he was younger, we actually had them in the house, and he used to bomb it around the house and then jump onto the sofa and then bite Connor and then jump off again. But he was never like horrible. He was just so, it was just funny. Like, it was never a nasty bite. It was always like a tester. He was a good buddy. Still is. And Herbie's our most shyest rabbit, if you like. He doesn't really like to involve himself too much with you. though. He's so lovely. He just prefers you to stay at arm's length or paw's length. So we do. We don't actually handle them at all. We only handle them to move them. They've always been very good. It's the best way sometimes. That nice little bit of a smoothing. I'm going to switch into the 4B just around the bottom part here, just near between the legs. It's just going to help this little area. Going to go for the 2B now. And I think for now we will call it a day. Thank you, Jess and Evie, for coming. Otherwise I would have been drawing on my own. Hopefully those that are catching up later, hope you enjoy it. If you've got any questions, feel free to drop me a message. And yeah, I'm really glad that you enjoy it, and hopefully I will catch you guys very soon. I will check my diary now and make sure I can pen in another date. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll catch you both and everybody else again very soon. I will just stick around for a couple of minutes, and then I will head off and probably watch a bit of TV. Oh, you're most welcome, Jess. Not a problem. I'm glad you were here. So yeah, I will. As I say, I'll drop a pen in for the next one. Probably be next Friday. I hope the kiddies go to bed quickly for you. And Evie, I hope you enjoy the rest of your holiday. Oh, Jane, I didn't realise. Oh no, it wasn't Jane. Sorry, that was somebody else. I help another business on Facebook, and every so often I get her messages. So I just had a message through thinking it was for my page and it was for hers, saying thank you for a lovely experience. But no, it was for somebody else's business, not mine. See you next time, Jess. Take care. Oh, you're most welcome, Evie. Take care. Bye. Okay, so I just want to drop a thank you to everyone that dropped in and said hi. And don't forget, you can sign up to my Patreon. Beginning of the month is the best time, rather than at the end of the month, because you go for the end of the month, you get charged twice, in quite succession of each other. Whereas you go at the beginning of the month, you can actually access everything for the whole month. And it's all up there, and a library is coming very soon on my website, so it's going to make Patreon a little bit easier to use. It's going to be a bit more user friendly, because Patreon really isn't that great for the library feature, so to speak. So yeah, if you guys ever want to learn to draw, you can join up for £5 a month. You can just draw like a little eye or a little nose or anything like that. Or if you go for the £10 per month, this is just the UK prices. It varies wherever you are in the world, but you can sign up. The £10 a month, you'll get the start to finish animals, which is what we're doing here. And each animal is broken down into about an hour to an hour and a half long tutorial that you can access anytime. Now, a lot of people get a bit concerned, where something's cheap, that the quality's cheap. I'm definitely one of those people. However, the reason I've done it so cheap is I want as many people as possible to enjoy learning to draw. And it means that people that might not necessarily not be able to afford a private tutor or go to art school or anything like that can have access to quality learning. And that is my only reason. I just want everybody to enjoy drawing. So if you're considering it, maybe give the free lesson a go, and if you enjoy it, then pop yourself a sign up, and if you don't enjoy it, then you haven't lost anything. So thank you so much for being here, and I hope to see you guys very, very soon. All the best, and have a really good evening. Take care. Goodbye.